1967. The campaign of North Vietnamese General Giap is going badly. The Americans are applying the pressure on a dozen battlefields. His troops are taking mounting casualties and suffering from a loss of morale. He desperately needs a major victory. But the target he selects hands him one of the costliest defeats of the war and gives the Allies spectacular confirmation that a ground battle can be won by air power. Khe Sanh, an Allied base manned by U.S. Marines and 1 battalion of South Vietnamese Rangers. Cornerstone of the defense line where the demilitarized zone and the Laotian border meet. The mountains surrounding Khe Sanh overlook the Ho Chi Minh Trail. To Giap and to some Western observers, Khe Sanh's similarity to Dien Bien Phu make it a lucrative target, one that might bring a victory as decisive as the one that forced the French withdrawal a decade before. Into the area, Giap moves 2 full divisions, more than 20,000 men, and positions them to surround the 6,000 defenders. A 3rd division is moved toward the Marine base at Camp Carroll. As the battle lines are drawn and the Marines repulse probes against their tightened perimeter, General William Westmoreland gives his Deputy Commander for Air, General William Momeyer, operational control of all air elements in the defense of Khe Sanh. On January 19th, the largest and best coordinated air campaign of the war is launched against the enemy. With land routes blocked, every ounce of food, every round of ammunition must be flown in to the besieged Marines across an air bridge that is always busy.
Hello, Finley, how are you? This is Khe Sanh, as you see. We'll be able to see the strip when we walk farther, so we need to go out just a little bit farther so I can get the exact lay of the land. And I'll be able to do it by looking at the ground. This 130, I don't recall that it was abandoned there, but there she sits. And it wasn't destroyed. You'd think it'd be destroyed. This chopper here, you can't turn around and you'll probably get them. This bunker, I have no idea. It may have been a Marine far outpost right here. Let's see what's in this. These sandbags seem too new. They're not 40 years old, doesn't seem like. But it was sure there. And then that looks like a Russian tank there that probably attacked Khe Sanh. In the overall attack, it took about, well, they never did overtake Khe Sanh, we know that. They never did flatten the place. So the U.S. held. And that was the general's wish, is to hold and make them back away and then close it. And that's exactly what they did in 1968. They closed it down.
As the supply by air continues, the Air Force coordinates intelligence from all sources to pinpoint the enemy positions. Air Force reconnaissance crews are able to penetrate the jungle canopy and zero in on enemy targets with highly sophisticated electronic and photographic devices that detect the enemy's slightest move. They often locate more than 300 targets a day. Giap's plan calls for a quick victory. He steps up the intensity of his assault, scores a hit on the Marine ammunition dump. On 23 February, 1,300 rounds slam into Khe Sanh. Casualties among the defenders mount. Marines burrow deeper and call for suppressive fire from fighter aircraft.
Now, SOG operations, if it turns out to be like I think it's going to turn to be, would launch off this area on the other side of where this airplane is. That's where the Marines were. The Marines were all over the place, and not especially on level ground. When this camp was first built, when we get out to the airstrip, I'll show you guys where the airstrip was. Because anytime you have a Special Forces camp, you have to have an airstrip to get your resupplies. Either the plane lands or the plane makes airdrops. And the planes landed here most of the time, except during the siege, they couldn't land. Anybody want to ask a question about anything?
Where was the enemy coming from?
From all of the hills. They'd gotten down here. They didn't come across those hills there. They were already in the area here. They came up on the approach that we made through those heavy jungles down by the water. They always have to have water, so they always approach by water, by moving through areas where water's in supply. Water is always in demand. I should have a damn cane.
Peek at me this way. I'm getting a good photo as you walk. That's great.
Say again?
Awesome.
And we'll walk over to this bird. The bird's on a strip of some kind.
In those in the documentary video footage we saw was it a C-130 landing and kind of?
I think when we get out here that we're going to see where they would come in and land, dump their load, and try to turn or take off right where they were. If they had enough speed, they could take off and not even stop.
Wow.
Enemy gunners score a hit on an A-4 flown by Marine Major Bill Loftus. But Loftus is quickly recovered by Marine choppers and returned to Khe Sanh.
And that was happening like coming in.
We have to see. Have to look up there to see if that's the airstrip.
Wow.
But of course, the PSP has been removed. I have a look here. The more I look at this, the more I'm thinking this might be the damn airstrip.
Yeah, look at, maybe that's what the trench on either side was.
Because you see, it keeps out on going, and that's pretty level right over here. But I think if we get up here, we'll see. We'll look at we've got a straight down view of Khe Sanh, so we know where the planes usually parked before the siege. After this siege, no aircraft parked here. They'd come hit and run and make their airdrops and so forth like that. But none of these trees were here.
The enemy intended to overrun the base at Khe Sanh. Less than 6,000 United States Marines and South Vietnamese Rangers, backed by our tremendous air capacity, pinned them down, kept them away from the populated areas, and imposed heavy casualties.